The RAP, the Rapid Action and Patrols, is a crack team of officers tasked with shutting down the bikies and smashing crime on the Glitter Strip. Gold Coast Cops. Tonight, a drug bust turns up a home zoo.
I'm not a fan of snakes. Never have been. Get rid of it! I'm going home. I'm walking.
A routine traffic stop
Mate, you're shaking like a leaf. You a bit nervous?
leads to a bail breach
Aren't you on curfew? You step out, you're under arrest.
and a suspicious car
It's really low, isn't it? It's scraping on the bloody ground.
turns up a body in the boot. It's 7 a.m. and Constable Sean Swain is part of a team headed to the beach suburb of Currumbin.
There's things we see and things we do in this job that can get you down if you let it. And the way I deal with it is just by always having a smile on my face and keeping a good sense of humour and trying to see the fun in things rather than seeing the doom and gloom all the time.
And today, there's going to be plenty of laughs. Constable Swain just doesn't know it yet.
Just heading down to an address down at Currumbin, which is, it looks like a block of factories where about 3 or 4 guys are living. One of the officers got some good intel on suggesting they may be in possession of some dangerous drugs. So we're just going to execute a search warrant at the address and see what we come up with.
There's a few cars here.
At the location, they're joined by a second team led by Sergeant John Kaz.
Looks like the shed's shut.
But this is not your average suburban home.
It's a factory that's been converted into sort of like a residential dwelling.
Police, open up.
And when a knock at the door doesn't get a response, Sergeant Kaz is ready with a plan B.
We heard him inside, announced our presence, told me how to search for him. Didn't want to answer the door, so we used our front door key. You're detained. You're
The
detained.
suspect is quickly located inside.
It's all right, mate. Sit down.
Holy shit, we gotta go home today. Got mate, we're banging a while. Hey, I thought I was asleep.
He pretended to be surprised. I doubt it because he was wide awake.
I have a search warrant issued under the provisions of the Police Powers and Responsibilities Act to search these premises in relation to dangerous drugs.
I can put them in the boot.
Nah, she's all right, mate.
Turns out this guy is an avid bird lover.
Yeah, it scared you too, didn't it, when the door come banging open?
And a search of the house turns up a menagerie of creatures great and small.
Oh, watch out, they're pretty vicious. The old bearded dragons, they're not community animals, and that's why this one's missing pretty much all its limbs.
On the zoo.
Hopefully it's licensed.
Found I don't know, what would you say, a little zoo. He's got all these little reptiles and birds there.
What's in there?
Carpet. Coastal.
You gotta have license for that stuff.
Yeah.
My old next door neighbour rang me and said, get out the front. Walked out there and there's a snake crossing the road. So I picked it up, put it in the pillowcase and brought it inside and built the chain.
No, if you're allowed to acquire it like that, though, mate.
A little snake that he found on the side of the road, he's brought home. And he's made a little tank and he's got a snake now, that little pet snake. Not a fan of snakes.
That's your room?
That's my room, Dad's room's over there.
Yeah.
And Mitchell's room's out there.
All right, okay.
And while he's surrounded by wildlife, there's no sign of his human family, some of whom are also named in today's search warrant.
The information was that the 2 brothers reside there with Dad. Dad had nothing to do with it. Dad's a panel beater, but the brothers were using and dealing. When did go to Sydney, mate?
Yesterday morning, about lunchtime yesterday with Dad and my 2 sisters. And I'm not going because I've got my animals, my babies here to look after, my birds.
And so the search begins for drugs listed in the warrant.
Just stay at the door, matey.
And our animal lover is ready to talk.
Yeah, and just tell me where it is,
I've
okay?
got a
So
glass
don't...
pipe just there on yours.
Yep.
His bedroom is a treasure trove of drug paraphernalia.
What about this little bag of greenery here, man?
Oh, that's weed.
What's the correct term for that?
Marijuana.
Marijuana.
And while the wall art seems to point to a drug of choice,
God made grass, man made booze. Who do you trust?
it seems he's a man of varied tastes.
What's this in here?
Oh, a little cocaine sniffer.
You use coke as well, man?
Sometimes.
What's this stuff in here?
Oh, speed.
And that's what you use to smoke through the
Yes.
pipe, is it? Is that ice, is it?
Oh, yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same.
He's having a crack at every type of drug that's out there on the streets at the moment. He's not picky. He's willing to try anything, this bloke.
But this search has barely begun. Next,
Any key floating around for this safe?
A safe in the snake bed proves hard to crack.
Next.
Constable Sean Swain and Sergeant Kaz are executing a search warrant.
It's all right, mate. Sit down.
So far, they've uncovered a mini zoo,
Not a fan of snakes.
along with a bunch of drug paraphernalia, cannabis and methamphetamine.
You use coke as well, man?
Sometimes.
And the search continues.
What are these little pills in here, buddy?
A couple of them are dexamphetamine tablets.
Yeah. What about this capsule here?
Help you sleep.
Have you got prescriptions for any of these, mate?
I did have prescriptions for Dexies, but I stopped taking them.
Okay, so you don't have a current prescription for
Not
it?
at the moment.
We found some prescription drugs that he's not supposed to have. We also found some diazepam, which is an offence to have in possession.
So it's in you agree that this is in your possession?
Yes, it
currently?
He's making admissions to knowledge and control of everything, and he said it's all his.
But it seems all the drugs seized so far are for personal use.
No evidence of that he's actually dealing.
Yeah, I just don't need this. I thought I was on a clean sweep. I started off fresh, got my licence, got everything. Starting to get my life back on track.
What do you do for a job?
I'm on some milk benefits.
What's your habit worth? How much do you go through?
Not a lot now.
Maybe it's a good time to get off it. Huh?
I've been off it for 3 years. This was just a little pickle because of my birthday last month. So.
Yeah.
All right, man, we're done in here, so if you want to jump back around the corner.
So you got ice weed, ice pipe, bongs, scales and grinder.
That's not all. Back in the lounge room, they've turned up a scanner
Is that a scanner?
Yeah, that's
Are they legal?
that is also tuned to a police channel.
They listen to us?
Not illegal, but suspicious. And another sweep of the bedroom turns up a bundle hidden under the mattress.
Hello. Hello.
What's that? This could be a firearm.
What's in the towel, man? What's wrapped up in the towel?
There's a big sword in there. That's why it's wrapped up under my mattress. My little brother's only young, so I just keep all this stuff away from him so he can't hurt himself.
That's sharp, tell me.
But also not illegal.
Oh, that's Mitchell's toolbox and motorbike.
It's what they find hidden in this van that catches their imagination.
Any key floating around for this safe?
No, I wouldn't have a clue. That's my little brother's.
There's something in there.
Why don't we take it outside in the light of day, maybe?
All right, we'll go out of the shed, eh? Well, on previous experience, and most police will tell you that when you do a search warrant and you start getting hits, more than likely that they'll either keep a large stash of their money or further drugs in the safe. So if I'm finding the safe, I wanted that thing open. I wanted to know what was in there.
Once you get it underneath it, you'll bust it. There was intel that one of these fellows might have a handgun, and we always get excited when we can take a handgun off the street, so we thought we might get into this safe, because when we gave it a shake, we thought we could hear something metal in there.
But cracking the safe proves harder than expected.
Maybe a heavier hammer.
Or an even heavier hammer.
Next.
Yeah, had a few swings at it.
Good work, Sergeant.
Just showed the old man that the younger, better looking, bigger bloke can always get it open. He can get the job done.
But if they were hoping for cash or firearms, they're going to be disappointed.
A laser.
In the end, all that was in there was a laser, which he's not allowed to have.
Is it more than 3 milliamps? Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure it's classed as a weapon.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff in the media recently where they're pointing it at the police helicopters and other commercial aircraft. It's quite dangerous and can jeopardise the safety of people on the aircraft. Quite a serious offence. It can put you in jail.
But for now, he's looking at a stack of drug-related charges.
Okay, there is going to be a few charges.
We've located dangerous drugs in your unit, right?
He's probably facing in total about 10 charges in relation to his possession of ice, possession of speed, possession of cannabis, Xanax and diazepam. Then he's got the grinders, the scales, the numerous ice pipes, the bongs. That's just that for a start.
Is there any information that you want to provide us in relation to where you're getting it from?
No, I don't like being classified as a snitch.
There's also compliance issues with some of the wildlife. The most serious is housing the wild snake.
He hasn't updated the record book. He hasn't sent movement advices to the Department of Environmental and Heritage Protection, and he hasn't updated his address with them.
Unfortunately for him, it means they've got to take away his beloved carpet snake.
I know I've done the wrong thing.
And although he's facing some serious drug charges, the loss of his pet hits him the hardest.
I know you're upset, but I know that.
Luckily, Constable Porluck just happens to know a thing or two about handling snakes.
Get the head away.
Which is more than can be said for his colleagues.
It's all right, Woodsy. The back end doesn't bite.
Whatever. Snake boy.
Especially Swaney,
Senior Constable Swain.
Look at it. Ah!
who is terrified by the prospect of giving the snake a ride back to HQ.
No, not happening. Sorry. Negative. I'm not a fan of snakes. Never have, mate. See you later.
Next,
Aren't you on curfew?
It doesn't matter anyway. I'm out with friends and my mum said I was allowed to.
what happens when you're out without telling your mum?
Just went round to your mum's place. Yeah. She doesn't know where you are or who you're with.
The RAP team is targeting drugs at every level. And today, Senior Constable Matt Bloomfield is staking out the home of a known ice dealer.
But just have a look at the cars in the street. I like catching drug dealers. I don't like the impact that they have on the community. If people are getting hooked on drugs, they generally have habits to support and therefore they'll start committing other crimes. So I like to try and get rid of it as much as I can.
And getting rid of drugs means following a car he's just seen leave the drug house with a possible takeout.
We're just going to intercept them and have a look and see if they've got anything on them. G'day, mate. How you going? What's your name, dude? Jamie, my name's Senior Constable Matt Bloomfield.
How are you?
Hey?
Straight away, the driver's acting like he's got something to hide.
Mate, you're shaking like a leaf. Your hands. You a bit nervous?
Do that to me. I just got out of jail, mate, 6 months ago.
Did you?
I see the side of coppers and really shooting stuff.
Okay. Any drugs, weapons, anything like that?
No way, we don't do drugs. So.
You don't do drugs at all?
But given the car was just seen leaving a known drug house, Matt's not entirely convinced.
Do you use drugs?
Yeah, I just smoke pot occasionally. Hey.
Occasionally?
Yeah.
When was the last time you think you used?
Like late this afternoon.
All right, guys, from what you're telling me and your nervousness, I'm going to detain you all right now for a search of this vehicle, okay? I reasonably suspect that you may be in possession of drugs. Fair enough?
And if there's nothing in the car, like...
Then you'll be free to go.
Sweet as.
I'm not going to arrest you for nothing.
Matt suspects they may be under the influence of the drug ice, which can cause users to break into fits of violence. And given they're outnumbered, Matt wants some backup.
Like a Georgie here, eh?
Within moments, Senior Constable George Lacides is on the scene.
So we're going to get out and search him. Can you give us a hand? There's 3 on board.
It turns out George has already had dealings with the driver.
Aren't you on curfew?
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Not even 10 yet.
It's 1 minute past.
1 minute past 10 o'clock, mate.
It doesn't matter anyway. I'm out with friends and my mum said I was allowed to.
You step out, you're under arrest straight up.
That?
You're on curfew, mate.
Luckily, George turned up, recognised the driver as someone he knew who was breaching his bail curfew, so he got arrested on the spot.
If you go look
Don't
at
you
my bail
obstruct me.
conditions...
Step out. You're on curfew. I'm aware that he's on curfew. We pulled him over at 1 minute past 10 o'clock. His curfew's 10 o'clock.
There's no way you can do this, mate.
You don't remember me, do you?
Yeah, I do remember you. Why? What's the problem, buddy?
He's on strict conditions with his previous history. Obviously, it's fairly serious. When was the last time you were in trouble with us?
6 months ago, man. When I got out of jail. I've been clean, like basically clean ever since, man. I swear to God.
Basically clean?
Oh, I've been getting on it, but you know what I mean, like barely ever.
You're on curfew, mate, so how come you're out past your curfew?
My mum said it's all right to go out with my friends.
With a responsible adult. They're not responsible.
And while George thinks they're anything but responsible, a search of the car hasn't turned up any drugs.
Nothing in the car, eh?
And no drugs were found on either of the passengers.
Nothing in your pockets, bud?
So, true to his word, Matt releases them.
All right, you're now undetained. You're free to go. Thank you for your cooperation.
But even without drugs, the driver is still in breach of his curfew and he's not going anywhere.
Part of his bail condition was that he can actually come out after 10 p.m. if they're with adults that are approved by his mother.
And given the suspect is claiming he's out with his mum's blessing, George heads over to see if Mum will back up the story.
It's the police. Hey, how you going?
No.
Sorry to bother you at this hour. Here to do a curfew check on Jamie if he's home.
He's not home?
Do you know where he is?
No, I don't.
Who are you to Jamie?
Mum.
He's aware that he's on curfew?
Yes, he is.
And Mum not knowing where he is means the curfew violation is rock solid.
No worries. Thank you so much for your time.
Armed with the proof he needed, George heads back to break the news.
Just went round to your mum's place.
Yeah.
She doesn't know where you are or who you're with.
What?
Yeah.
How could that be? I've just seen her about an hour ago.
Well, I just went around there and spoke to her and she's singing a bit of a tune. It is what it is, mate.
He's been arrested on a breach of bail tonight and spend the night in the watch house.
Next, a designated driver
they've been drinking
pays the price for that body in the boot. It's Saturday night, and Sergeant Blair Casey and Senior Constable Katie Hardy are out on patrol when they spot what appears to be an overloaded vehicle.
It's really low, isn't it? It's scraping on the bloody ground.
I think most police would tell you that policing is mainly gut feelings, and 99% of the time you're right.
It's either a lot of drugs, a dead body, or...
He's got something heavy. Oh, there's heaps of people in there.
Sorry, 340, go again.
Hello, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we just saw a vehicle was riding too low to the ground, and we pulled it up for a traffic stop because we thought they were overloading it. There's only 3 of you in the back there. Oh, right. Yeah, you're all right. We thought there were people in the far boot. That's why we pulled you up, but...
Like sardines.
Yeah.
How many's in there? Jesus. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Open that up for us, please, mate.
But with the car sitting so low, Sergeant Casey is convinced there's more to this picture.
Out you come, champion.
And he's right. There's a stowaway.
It's all right, you can stand over there. Sure enough, there was a guy in the boot. So the guy...
Any emergent reason why you've got this many people in the vehicle?
They've been drinking. I'm the nominated driver. The driver was the designated driver. He was probably doing the right thing, but he's overloaded his car.
Just because they're drinking, but no emergent reason? Emergent means emergency, so no emergency.
No.
OK. Do you know that it's illegal? Because obviously there's no seatbelt fitted in the boot of your car, so he's actually not got a seatbelt on because of that?
Yeah, look, Saturday night you probably do see a bit of that. People are just trying to get home, and their friends are just trying to look after them.
Designated driver or not, they need to make sure he's not over the limit.
So have you had anything to drink tonight at all?
Yeah, I have.
How many have you had?
I'd be very, very surprised if it was over the limit.
But how many have you had?
I think that I've had about 5.
And commence blowing. Commence blowing. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep
Just
going.
empty your
keep
pockets
going.
out
Stop.
there,
Well done.
Well done.
Yep.
And he's clean.
Yep, that's all good. No dramas. You're under the limit. Yep, that's all right. That's good.
But there's still the matter of the body in the boot.
Mate, you might have to organise a taxi or something, because obviously we can't let you go back in the boot of the car. Do you need him for anything, Katie? It's just the driver gets the ticket, isn't it? It's only him.
Yeah.
You're right to start walking, right, mate, before it starts raining again. Have a good night, eh? See ya. Although we may sort of laugh it off, it's probably it's a good thing to stop him and make the fellas walk. So what do you do for work?
Lawyer.
Oh, yeah?
Family lawyer.
Oh, family lawyer. Oh, I was going to say, you're criminal, you should have known better.
The poor Metro, you almost destroyed it.
What do you mean?
It was about that far off the ground at the back.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that.
The old back tyres were like duck feet, hanging out the back.
Really?
That's what drew our attention.
Jokes aside, it's a serious matter, and this little ride will cost him a ticket.
OK, that's your licence back. Sorry, but I have to issue you an infringement in regards to having too many people in the vehicle. I mean, you're trying to do the right thing, but yeah, you just can't have someone like that. If you had a traffic crash, then he wouldn't be here. All right, thanks.
Thanks, mate. See ya.
It's pretty low anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our animal enthusiast has 8 drug-related charges and could be facing up to 15 years in jail. The snake was safely released by the Department of Environment and Heritage. The curfew violator spent the night in jail and was later released to appear in the magistrate's court. And the overloaded car cost our designated driver $212 and 3 demerit points. Next week on Gold Coast Cops.
I know you guys are going to come sooner or later, eh?
The Rap break up an Australia Day party for one.
I have been sober. There's no reason for you to do that.
A Harley rider loses his cool.
Why were they going to pull me over prior to that? Because I look like a bikie, that's it.
Mate, you're the only person who's mentioned bikie.
And a bikie's fantasy trip
You're under arrest, mate.
ends in a reality check.
He is pinging off his chops.